This is going to be a how-to video for stair skirts, the trim that's going to go up the stairs and trim out the walls along there. One thing that you need to think about for placement of it is what is your flooring surface going to be here and what's your flooring surface going to be down there. And in both cases on this house, it's going to be carpet. So that means I'm gonna, when I mount the stair skirt, I'm gonna actually end up putting it 3/8 of an inch above this surface here so that there's room to tuck carpet. And same down there on the floor, I'll keep it up 3/8. That's just sort of a industry standard for what we leave so that the carpet layers can tuck the carpet. So, okay, so now what I've got to do, you've got to decide how high above the staircase you want the stair skirt to be. There's not really a standard there. I'm going to make it 5 inches, so I'm going to use this level that's marked. And I'm going to just plumb up off of a couple of the nose treads. 5 inches, I'll make a mark there. And then I'm going to come down here for a second mark. And plumb up 5 inches off of the tread nose and mark that. Now I'm going to pull a chalk line through there, and that line is going to be right along the rake of the stairs, and that'll help me get my angles in just a second. So, okay, so now we marked. I've marked the wall for the stair skirt, and all of this information just gets transferred onto a piece of 1x12 that I'm going to use. It's MDF in this case, just paint grade stuff. So you'll want to know how long the distance is from this mark down to my bottom mark there. And this mark here, 6 3/4, is the distance from my riser, the last riser at the top, out to this hash mark here where it'll be cut on an angle. And then same thing down at the bottom. You have to consider what kind of base molding you're going to use. In this case, my base trim is this stuff, and it's 5 1/4 inches. And so I've decided I'm gonna have my stair skirt end and be 6 inches tall right there so that my base can butt into it nicely. You also have to consider, and this isn't the case every time, but you need to check it out. Back in there's a stud on the ground, or a bottom plate for the wall that you'll have to notch out for in the bottom of your stair skirt. And so I've measured back and said, okay, 10 inches back from here, I'm gonna make a nice little cutout so that stair skirt can fit over that stud and that the stud won't hold it up off the ground. So that is what we've got so far. Now I'm going to transfer this information, so that I can cut it out of a piece of material. Go. Okay, so this next part is, you've got to know what this angle here is and what this angle up here at the top is. And you can do that a couple of ways. You can actually just use an angle finder, or this way is really pretty easy. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to lay this little piece of trim right along this chalk line. And I can do it anywhere on the wall as long as I am able to run it right up this chalk line. Then I'm going to take, for this angle here, I'm going to use a level, and I'm just going to stick it on there and make a level line right there. That transfers that angle. And then I'm going to take and I'm going to make a plumb line with my level right there. Now I've got my angles, and I'll be able to transfer those onto my piece of material. And I'm going to just transfer all of this information, all of these numbers, and then I'll meet you over at the socket. Okay, so for transferring the information onto our piece of material here, I'm going to use a speed square, a a sliding T-bevel. It's an angle finder, and a straight edge. So here is my upper angle. Remember, this was laying along the rake of the stairs, so this is going to be lying like this, and then here's that level angle at the top. So I'm just going to take my T-bevel here, transfer this. Okay, you can cut. Okay, so for this step, I've transferred that angle here for the upper angle. I'm going to use my speed square and a straight edge. And I'm just going to put that speed square on that line and put my straight edge along where that hash mark is. And so that'll be a cut line. Now we're going to come down to this end of the skirt. We said that our stair skirt is going to be 66 3/4 of an inch approximately. Now I'm going to use my T-bevel again to get the information for the lower angle. Just going to line that up like so, and then put that over there at my mark at 66 3/4. Transfer that angle. Okay, so this is our bottom angle, and same technique here, using the speed square and a straight edge to find that angle. Going to come back to there. Then we know that at the bottom there was that 2x4, and we said that that 2x4 was going to get in the way starting at 10 inches back from the front of the skirt. So I'm going to go back 10 inches. This part doesn't have to be perfect. I mean, I know that I've got to go up and over a 2x4, so I'll give myself plenty of room. Now I've got it all marked out. All of this material here is going to get cut out, and up here at the top we've marked the angle, and all of this stuff here is material that we're going to lose. So we're going to take the jigsaw and we're going to cut that off. Okay, I'm going to use the jigsaw to cut this out. You could use your miter saw for some of the angles, but it's a little tricky on some of the other ones because most of these saws don't go to that steep of an angle. So I'm just going to use my jigsaw and cut this out. Okay, now I'm gonna, just to finish off, I'm gonna router it. Just put a simple 1/8 inch round over on it. That's what matches with the rest of the trim in this house. Okay, so now all we have left to do is fit it in place and nail it. I've got that down there where it's going to be 3/8 of an inch off of the floor when the base trim ends up on it. I'll nail that. And I'll come down here and get the bottom hook where I want, which is right there. And all you gotta do is just nail it into your studs up the wall and you're done. That's how to do a stair skirt.